over-ear headphones made by Shure. I already own the Shure MV7 as my primary voice-over podcast microphone, and I really like the quality you can produce with it. So I was intrigued when I realized that Shure had a consumer-level headphone claiming to produce studio-quality audio at an affordable price tag of €250. If this claim holds true, and what else Shure actually put into the AONIC 40 is something we will see in the next couple of minutes. The AONIC 40 is a gorgeous looking, all-plastic, collapsible pair of over-ear headphones that feature a striking two-tone design. The hinge is colored in a silver metallic look that has a nice swirl design. It's very old school and new at the same time. Being uncomfortable isn't an issue, at least with my head. It features soft memory foam ear pads, which are covered in leatherette. The headband itself also has a nice cushion underneath. Weirdly though, the band itself is plastic and is relatively hard to adjust, especially when wearing it, and it is noisier than I've expected it to be. I don't think that this is an issue per se, but it is something I've definitely noticed the first few times wearing the headphones. You also need to learn how to actually transport them, since the buds can be folded. Shure has included a nice carrying case with a headband resting position on one side of the case, which takes away some strain from the headphones themselves when actually being transported. I'm not sure if this is a flaw or a feature, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Going down the headphones, Shure included physical buttons that include all the typical standard function you'd expect. There's the pairing and turning on button on the left side of the headphones, as well as 3 more buttons on the right side toggling ANC, as well as play pause and volume up and down. The controls are easy to learn, and after a day of use or so, you know where everything is. There's no customization option through the Shure app, but in my opinion, this isn't really necessary. What I've found to be a negative is that Shure went for a 2.5mm jack input on the headphones, which is smaller than the regular 3.5mm input. This makes it a tad more complicated, and you always have to have either a 2.5 to 3.5mm cable to connect it to your PC or microphone, or you need a 2.5 to 3.5mm adapter. At least Shure was kind enough to include one adapter cable in the box. To counter the negative point with a positive instantly, Shure integrated something that isn't really standard at all in headphones. At least I haven't seen it yet. The USB-C port on the AONIC 40 can not only be used to charge the headphones, but also for streaming music through it. So if you want to and you forgot your 3.5mm jack cable, you can use a USB-C cable to listen to music when your headphones are out of juice. Pretty cool in my opinion. The only thing left to say about the AONIC 40's exterior functions before diving into its features is something about its weight. Well, it's 310 grams light. So for a full-size headphone, this is actually pretty good. And while wearing these phones for hours on end, after some time, I actually forgot that I had them on my head. Speaking of forgetting, Shure advertises the headphones to have a long-lasting battery life of 25 hours with ANC on, which is pretty good for their size. The thing that actually weirded me out with that is the following, which is something I have never heard of nor seen before while testing any kind of headphones. They hold longer, much longer to be precise. In my test, and I wanted to see if this holds true, so I tried to confirm it by reading a lot of different other reviewers looking at what actually they experienced. Some of them claimed 25 hours. I guess they only read the specs without actually confirming them. Well, it's roughly 36 hours, so it's 11 more than Shure claimed with ANC on. That's unheard of? A headphone manufacturer underselling its headphones. So the battery life with ANC on is quite fantastic. Turning it off will give you even more continuous listening. And if you have to charge them, the integrated quick charge gives you another 5 hours with 15 minutes of charging. And while speaking of having 15 minutes, this would be enough to download and rummage through the ShurePlus app to see that there are actually some really interesting features hidden away inside the app. Not only can you change the ANC settings there, but also personalize your headphones to a certain degree. Put the headphones into the USB-C listening mode and turn on a red light on the outside of the ear cup, which lets other persons know that you are on a call right now. It's a very unique and very specific feature, but I'm sure people that will use it will love this feature. There are also 7 different presets included that change the sound to your liking. And if there is something you want to change, well, specifically, Shure implemented a 4-point frequency-based manual EQ in the app. It's very precise and something that I haven't seen before as well. Also, just for shits and giggles, Shure integrated their own audio player inside the app, which can be connected to your favorite streaming provider so that you can have all your audio things inside of one app. Interesting, but I don't think this is very useful for most people. App-wise, this is straight to the point the best audio app that I've come across yet. Not only by its design, but also by it being straight to the point. And while we actually talked about forgetting things, there's another thing that needs to be mentioned. And I'm not sure about this one either. Maybe Shure just forgot that or thought this is something that isn't relevant for the customers, or I don't actually know. They don't mention multi-point connection anywhere in their feature list. But the headphones actually do have multi-point. And it works really well. At least as good as the multi-point I'm used to while using Apple's AirPods 3. It's even faster and more seamless than what Sony implemented into the XB910s. I don't know, sure, maybe next time just write it down next to the immense codecs list you are featuring on these headphones. Speaking of that, they feature almost every codec imaginable, making sure that iOS as well as Android users can have better audio quality no matter what operating system you are actually using. Speaking of audio quality, Shure is well known for creating great microphones for studio and live performances, and the microphones inside these headphones are pretty good as well, but hear it for yourself with this short little test that I've recorded. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Play with matches and you get burned. Now that we've heard the microphones, let's get into the 2 most important things that a headphone has to be good at to become not only good, but a great pair of headphones. The first thing is having great, reliably non-intrusive ANC that kills most of the low-tone rumblings that you encounter in your daily commuter life or at your workplace. And in my opinion, even though there's a slight hum in the background when ANC is turned on and set to its max settings, it did not bother me at all. The ANC is very good in clearing low tones such as trains and cars. Even some voices are eliminated to a certain degree. This is all very much in the same ballpark as other headphones in this price category, and I have nothing, and I really mean nothing, to complain about it in the slightest. Except that there are no voice overtones when changing the ANC modes. But since I find 3 different ANC settings, 2 more than actually needed, this does not bother me that much. So let's get into the last thing on my list, which is the most important thing when testing and especially buying headphones. The legendary sound quality. And by legendary I mean sound quality is the most important thing. And these cans, wow. The 40mm drivers are good. What I like most about them is the following. There is no exaggerated sound tuning at all. Shure is marketing these as studio quality headphones, and I don't think this is just some kind of marketing blah blah. Shure is one of the leading companies when it comes to creating industry standard audio tools. Highs, mids, lows are really well balanced. So good in fact that the last headphones I tested on this channel, the Sony XB910Ns, feel pale and flat except for the extra bass, mushing together all the small details which are clearly audible on the AONIC 40. I haven't had much other headphones giving me the impression of being this clear. So I would actually use them in the studio to listen and to mix music. But if you don't like this kind of flat style, then there's always the opportunity to change it to your personal liking via the EQ in the Shure Play app. And the great thing about that is that once you've saved the profile you like, it gets saved onto the headphones themselves, making it sound the same no matter what app, device or player you are using. This is something I already really liked on Neural Throughs as well as the Grell TVS-1s, and now I also got to like that on the Shure AONIC 40s. Overall, there's actually nothing relevant that makes me dislike these headphones. The looks as well as the comfort is top notch. The ANC is really good in most of the situations that I encountered while wearing the headphones. The mic quality was good enough as well. The app and especially the EQ inside the app are another great detail. Features that are there even though they aren't advertised. Battery runtime that is actually longer than advertised, and truly exceptionally great and clear sound quality make these headphones easily my recommendation when it comes to being the best headphones that I've tested to this date. And for 250 euros you actually pay for what you get. A premium headphone from a premium manufacturer of audio devices. I am looking forward to testing out their bigger brother, the AONIC 50, which should, according to other reviewers, have an even better sound quality due to their 50mm drivers. Let's see as soon as I get my hands on a pair of them. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Leech and I'm off writing the next scripts. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. There are plenty more of this type of content and many other things available for you to watch. Have a great day, see you around and goodbye.